So today I received wiper arms and wipers with old rubber on them. Uh, I went to work and restored one of the wipers already, as you can see that, and I thought, you know what, why not make a little video on how I did this, because there's very little out there that shows what to do. Now these old blades, they were pretty crusty, as you can see. First of all, to replace the rubber on this wiper, I had to take the old one off. And there's some metal clips here you have to bend back, and on the metal retainer there's some grooves in there that keeps it in place. So here I am with a little flat screwdriver bending the metal tabs back so I can slide the wiper blade out of this frame. I wanted to reuse the frame. These are beautiful old frames. I actually have two others, actually a little more beautiful than these. I'll be using them, but still it's nice to have spares. So here I am trying to just carefully bending back those tabs so I can slide the old blade out. There probably are better ways to do this, but a little bit of bending with the flat screwdriver seemed to do the trick. And once you get the one end out, then the whole blade should just slide out. Problem is, the rubber on this was so old that it was completely hardened and cracked, so I had to break the old rubber off as well. So as you can see, it's not sliding out of the other grooves, and I just start cracking all the old rubber off just so that I can get to that metal guide that holds the rubber in, because I want to reuse this. The modern blades that I am stealing the rubber from, they actually had a two-piece guide, which would have worked fine, but I like the way that the older guide fit in the blade. So I'm going to reuse this this metal rail that the blades are in. So there we go. I pretty much have it out now. A little more finessing and bang, there we go. Oh, you can bend this open a little bit, and out goes the rest of the old, I don't know if you want to call it rubber anymore, but whatever it is, it's gone now. So the original rail is still good, straight enough for me. Those are the arms that came. I'm looking forward to installing them. The windshield's not on the car yet, so yeah, this is just that. So here's old one, new one. This is my one, the ones that came with my car. A little bit better shape than the ones I received, but the ones I received are still pretty good. Okay, so here is the donor blade. I had this lying around for a car that I don't own anymore. So the first thing I have to do is take the blade out of it. And just like on the Roadster, there's a little metal tab I need to open up. Sorry about the video, it's a little bit off frame here, but I'm basically opening up the tab on the locked side of the rail. Again, using a flat screwdriver. A little less gentle this time because the old frame is not something I'm going to be holding on to. So a little bit more effort and bang, it is out. And then this just slides out nice and easy with nice and fresh rubber. Now I need to cut it down to size. These original wipers for the Roadster are 10 inches. And another reason why I'm using the old metal rails is the ones that came with the new blades, they just stuck out further than I'd like. They extended beyond the wiper more so. So by using the old rail, I'm able to make it so it doesn't stick out as far. So the first thing I have to do is cut the old rubber down to size. Now I'm not using exact measurements here, but basically just taking the old metal frame and adding about 1/2 millimeter to each side and cutting it. In this case, it fought me a little bit, but I eventually did make the cut, and I had to trim it a little bit more. Now what you'll see after I make this cut is I will go get me a blade and add a little tiny slit at the top of the retaining rubber so that it can extend beyond the edge of this metal rail. I just think it looked a little better and possibly a little bit safer if there's a little bit of rubber sticking beyond the edge of the wiper. So that's what I'll be doing next after you see me trim the rubber here. So had a little bit of angle there, snip that off, make it a little bit neater, And now, and so again, the next thing you'll see me doing is I will take a little blade, maybe not as careful as I should have been, but it was an old blade, to add just a little tiny slit at the top of each of these grooves. Again, with the goal so that it would slide a little bit beyond the edge of the metal frame that I'm going to be putting these in. You know, there'd be a lot of other ways to do this, probably even safer ways than what I did. A little snipper would probably done it just fine too. But this is a dull blade, and I was very careful. Of course, they say dull blades are often more dangerous than sharp ones. So once I got those slits in there, I like to use WD-40 as a kind of a fitting lubricant. It just helps to glide things in. So you'll see, first of all, I'm measuring here to make sure I have a little bit of a slit there. Once I see that, you kind of pull it back a bit. I'm happy that the slit is there. And then I spritz the whole thing with some WD-40. This is my wife's kitchen countertop. It's working well, and WD-40 does a good job cleaning countertops too. So I've spritzed that. Now I'm going to slip this into the groove. It's a little bit finicky to get it in there, and occasionally the camera is not quite centered on the work I'm doing, so I cut out some of this. But basically, you've got to get the top of the wiper blade into this groove. And so get one edge in, slide it up. You'll notice I try to push it a little bit beyond the edge of the metal there. That's what my little extra slit gave me. It's a little bit of extra comfort, and then just finesse it in. I found it's easier to do the edges first and then pop it in the middle. But whatever works for you. I'm sure if I did this on a regular basis, it would go a lot quicker. And you're welcome to fast forward through this. I did cut out some of it. All in total, the one blade, which was the second blade I did, took about 12 minutes, and about half of that was taking off the old crusty rubber and working with wipers that were older and not in the best of shape. So I had to bend some of these tabs a little bit. As you can see, as I'm now sliding the blade into the wiper, it did fight me a bit, primarily because some of the little tabs, the grooves that it slides through, they were bent. So I had to bend them back. And anyway, once you get it into all of the grooves, then you just take some pliers and close what you saw me open up before. And there you have it. Wiper blade's done. I was able to do it at essentially no cost to me, as I'd already purchased these old wipers. And there it is. If I did this on a regular basis, probably about 5 minutes a blade. You can also just buy the empty refills, so you don't need to sacrifice a brand new wiper. You can just buy the blade refills. And I slip them into the arms. What you'll notice is the arms aren't perfectly straight. I just received them today. Didn't really do a full inspection of them. I imagine that when they get onto the car, I'll have to bend them just a little bit. But it took me over a year to come up with these proper wiper arms. I'm very happy I was able to find them. And I think they look great.